Have you ever gone to the grocery store to pick up your favorite candy only to find that it's gone? Every year, a handful of our favorite candies silently disappear, leaving us confused and heartbroken. Today, let's take a walk down memory lane and reunite with some of the sweet treats, banned candies that are no longer among us. Skittles Bubble Gum. Did you know that there was a time when you could continuously taste test the rainbow? Skittles marketed a special candy called the Bubble Top Gum. However, according to New York Daily News, Skittles Bubble Top Gum lasted for only 2 years. Perhaps too many people couldn't tell the difference between the gum version and the original Skittles candy, because the ultimate fact is that nothing can replace our beloved classic Skittles. Altoid Sours. Altoid Sours were a candy that had a curiously strong minty taste. The candy was so thought of as a must-have before a big date. In the 2000s, manufacturers released sour candies in a variety of delicious new flavors. Unfortunately, the candy was discontinued in 2010, much to the dismay of many candy fans. Altoid Sours were discontinued due to low national demand. A representative of its creators told Bustle, "We are so disappointed." Astro Pops. Astro Pops rocket-shaped lollipops were once reputed to be the best long-lasting lollipop on Earth. In September of 2004, Spangler discontinued the product line. The original 3 flavors of the candy are cherry, passionate fruit, and pineapple. Later, Spangler expanded the Astro Pop line of lollipops with flavors such as banana split and caramel apple. Astro Pops were very unusual to manufacture because their cone wrapper was also the mold for the candy. Hot candy was poured directly into the wrapper. Then a paper stick was added and the whole thing was capped off with a layer of wax. White chocolate. White isn't for everyone. Nestle learned that the hard way with its Alpine White Bar. The Nestle Alpine White Bar was simple, just a white chocolate bar with almonds. It came out in '86. Nestle chose to market this bar as a more sophisticated adult chocolate bar. The bar was unable to attract a good amount of fans at the time and was discontinued in 1993. Today, the bar has a Facebook page dedicated to bringing the bar back within the next 25 years. Hersheys Bar. Hersheys introduced the Hersheys Bar in 1987. The bar consisted of a cocoa wafer, chocolate filling, peanuts, and chocolate coating. Despite being extremely popular as they were, Hershey decided to add caramel to the recipe in 1992 as well as break the bar in half, similar to a Twix. The bars were, however, discontinued in 1997. Today, there's a petition to bring them back and the company called Iconic Candy is in the process of replicating them. SevenUp Bars. SevenUp Bars were marketed as both cookies and candy since they were a combination of both. They comprised of 2 wafers topped with peanuts and covered with chocolate. A big problem for SevenUp Bars was that they melted too easily. People complained about having them stored in their freezers. Eventually, their recipe was rehauled in 1983. However, by the next year, the bars entirely disappeared. Space Dust. General Foods introduced Space Dust in 1978, 2 years after the debut of Pop Rocks. Space Dust is basically what would happen if someone ground up Pop Rocks. Parents complained that the name was too similar to Angel Dust and worried about its safety. Hence, the creators of Space Dust even took out a full-page ad to reassure parents. Despite all these efforts to protect Space Dust, unfortunately, the candy eventually became a discontinued food. Another creepypasta candy review. Berries and cream. Even if you aren't a huge fan of the taste of berries and cream Starbursts, you would have probably been a huge fan of the 2007 commercial starring the Little Lad. Little Lad sang and danced in celebration of his love for berries and cream. The ad was so successful at the time that it received praise from Advertising Age, has its own Facebook page, and is even considered a meme. It's unclear when and why Mars decided to get rid of the viral candy. One day, they were just gone. The Mars website has no mention of berries and cream, but it does advertise and sell classic Starburst, Starburst Minis, Starburst Gummies, and Starburst Jelly Beans. Bonkers. Bonkers were created by Nabisco in the 80s. They were a chewy candy with a fruit-flavored center. Bonkers candy was best known for its commercials that always included the slogan, "Bonkers bonks you out." Bonkers phased out by the 1990s. After their commercials stopped running, their popularity waned. In 2015, another candy company, Leaf Brands, announced that they were in the process of tracking down the original recipe for Bonkers in order to recreate the original taste. As of 2018, Bonkers are still not for sale, but Leaf is moving closer towards making the candy available to the public soon. Wonka Donuts. The only thing Wonka Donuts candy had in common with actual donuts was their shape. The Wonka Donuts was a donut-shaped chocolate ring with a truffle-like interior and sprinkles on top. The donuts were released in 2005 to coincide with the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake, but they did not stick around for long due to a lack of sales. A petition was filed to bring the candy back, which suggests that at least some people are still passionate about them. Butterfinger BBs. The candy was called Butterfinger BBs and was introduced to the public sometime in the 90s. Shaped like a marble, the Butterfinger BB candy was a bite-sized version of the Butterfinger Bar. The candy was discontinued. A special petition was filed to bring this yummy candy back. Nestle did try to bring the candy back in 2009 and called it Butterfinger Bites, but these just weren't the same. Garbage candy. Tops is a candy brand which is behind products like classic tongue-in-cheek schoolyard trading cards called Wacky Packages and Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage candy, a candy that literally only appeals to children, were plastic garbage cans filled with sugary candy that was shaped like things you'd find in the trash: cans, bottles, and fish bones. This candy was popular in the 80s. The sad bit is production never picked up after Tops closed its Pennsylvania factory in 1996 due to low profits. Reggie Jackson Bar. New York Yankee the great Reggie Jackson perhaps isn't that well known outside baseball anymore. However, in the 1980s, the slugger and outfielder was a household name. The delicious Reggie Jackson Bar consisted of a mass of caramel and peanuts covered in chocolate, the distinctive orange wrapper, and a picture of Jackson taking a monster swing. Unfortunately, the candies were discontinued in 1982. The good news is we think it might be not too late to get your hands on this one. We noticed someone was trying to sell an unopened Reggie bar on eBay. Hersheys Smores. What if you hear that someone doesn't like the most amazing s'more? That would be pretty rare, I think. Even though these bars have long been discontinued, fans are still raving about them on Amazon pages. The 2020 kid won't understand the bright side about these candy bars, but the original fans of the Hersheys Smores are still crazy about them. A fan commented on Reddit, "I don't care how far past the expiration date they'd be. If anyone knows where I can find one, please let me know." Marathon bars or Curly Whirly. The allure of the Marathon bar came from its size. It was a full 8 inches of caramel-covered chocolate. Marathon bars gave kids the most bang for their buck because they lasted a very long time. The Mars Candy Bar only made Marathon bars for a short period of 8 years. After that, they were taken off the shelves for good due to underwhelming sales. Not to worry though, Cadbury features a version of the now extinct Marathon bar called Curly Whirly. PB Max. Did you know that the peanut butter cup once had a competitor? It was called PB Max. What set it aside was the fact that it also contained a layer of cookie. This sweet snack was discontinued for a very strange reason. Even though it was a big success, supposedly the company got rid of it just because they personally weren't fans of peanut butter. Yeah, it makes no sense, not even in Reddit stories. Wonderball. But first, do us a favor, click on that like button to inspire us. Subscribe to our channel and you won't miss any interesting videos. Okay, let's go. Even though Wonderballs are rarely on shelves anymore, 90s kids still probably have their infectious jingles stuck in their head. The amazing fact is that the original packaging of the candy included a toy inside, but since too many kids choked on it, manufacturers replaced the toy with more candy. Even with the fix, the Wonderballs were discontinued in 2007. Since then, the candy has only been brought back on a few chosen occasions to promote specific movies. 7UP Bars. Several years ago, 7UP did not mean soda, it meant candy. The Pearson Candy Company created 7UP Bars in 1951. The name stemmed from the fact that the bars were split into 7 bites, each featuring a different filling. Pearson's discontinued 7UP in 1979 after selling the name to a bottling company, leading to the eventual rise of a soda of the same name. Pearson's website gives us some hope. It states that they will never ever make this candy again. Never, unless we do. Lifesaver Holes. Lifesaver holes were introduced in the 90s. They were basically lifesavers but in a non-ring form. Lifesaver's holes were plagued with problems. After being on the market for the second half of 1990, they were recalled in January 1991 because they posed potential choking hazards for kids. The candy reappeared 4 months later with new packaging but was eventually taken off the shelves forever. Tongue Splashers Gum. You might not know this, but gum was really big back in the 80s and 90s, and this gummy candy called Tongue Splashers Gum was also extremely popular. The candy was eventually banned in most schools as there was an element of scandal behind it. In my eyes, Tongue Splashers were the most scandalous of all candies. What would my parents think if I dyed my tongue blue? I wondered to myself. I'm such a rebel. So what's the most dangerous candy? Have you tried any of these in your life? Let us know in the comments. Like always, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comments section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit the subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss a thing. Until next time, take good care of yourself.